Money affects nearly every part of our lives, yet very few people are ever taught how to truly think about it. Most of us learn how to earn money, but not how to keep it, grow it, or make decisions that lead to lasting financial freedom. In this complete summary of the psychology of money by Morgan Housel, you'll discover why financial success isn't determined by how much you know, but by how you behave. You'll learn the timeless principles behind wealth, saving, investing, patience, risk, and the everyday habits that separate those who build lasting prosperity from those who constantly struggle. This summary isn't about getting rich overnight or chasing quick success. It's about understanding the psychology behind money so you can make wiser financial decisions, avoid common mistakes, and create a future built on confidence instead of uncertainty. So, keep an open mind, and let's begin with the first powerful lessons that reveal why mastering your behavior is far more important than mastering numbers. Before we talk about investing, saving, or building wealth, we need to understand one life-changing truth. Money is less about mathematics and far more about human behavior. Two people can have the same education, the same income, and access to the same financial information, yet end up with completely different results. The difference isn't intelligence, it's how they think, react, and make decisions over time. One of the most important lessons in the psychology of money is that doing well with money has very little to do with your IQ. You don't need to be a financial genius to become wealthy. What matters far more is emotional control. The biggest financial mistakes usually happen when emotions take over. Fear causes people to sell too early. Greed pushes them to take unnecessary risks. Impatience makes them chase quick profits instead of building long-term wealth. The people who achieve lasting financial success are often not the smartest, they're the most consistent. They understand that wealth isn't built overnight. It's the result of making good decisions repeatedly, even when no one is watching. Another powerful idea from the book is that every person's financial story is unique. We often compare ourselves to others without realizing they grew up in completely different circumstances. Someone who experienced poverty may value security above all else. Someone raised during economic prosperity may be more comfortable taking risks. Our childhood, family experiences, culture, and personal successes all shape the way we think about money. That's why financial advice isn't always universal. A strategy that works perfectly for one person may be completely wrong for someone else. Before following anyone's advice, understand your own goals, responsibilities, and tolerance for risk. Personal finance is deeply personal. The book also explains the surprising roles of luck and risk. Society often celebrates successful people as if success comes entirely from hard work and perfect decisions. While effort is essential, luck also plays a role. Being born in the right place, meeting the right people, entering a growing industry, or investing at the right time can create opportunities that others never receive. At the same time, risk is always present. Even brilliant people can experience failure because life is unpredictable. Understanding this makes us more humble during success and more compassionate during failure. Never assume that every wealthy person succeeded only because they were smarter, and never believe that every failure happened because someone lacked effort. One of the greatest financial mistakes is believing that more money automatically creates more happiness. In reality, people often continue increasing their lifestyle as their income grows. Bigger houses, expensive cars, luxury vacations, and endless spending become new expectations. The result is that even with higher income, they never truly feel financially secure. Real wealth is different. Wealth isn't what people see. Expensive possessions are visible, but true wealth is often invisible. It's the money you don't spend. It's the investments quietly growing in the background. It's the savings that provide peace of mind during difficult times. Many of the wealthiest people live far more simply than society expects because they understand that financial freedom is worth more than showing off. This leads to another timeless lesson. Saving is more powerful than impressing. Every dollar you choose not to spend becomes a tool that can create future opportunities. Savings provide flexibility. They allow you to handle emergencies, invest when opportunities appear, and make decisions based on long-term goals instead of short-term pressure. As these first lessons come together, one message becomes clear. Building wealth begins in the mind long before it appears in your bank account. Your habits, patience, emotional discipline, and daily financial choices shape your future far more than temporary income or market predictions. And this is only the beginning. In the next part, we'll explore why compounding, long-term thinking, and the true meaning of financial freedom have the power to completely transform the way you think about money. In the previous section, we learned that financial success depends more on behavior than intelligence. Now, let's explore one of the most powerful forces in the world of money, time. While many people search for the perfect investment or the fastest way to get rich, they often overlook the greatest wealth-building tool available to everyone: patience. One of the central ideas in the psychology of money is the incredible power of compounding. Compounding simply means that your money earns returns, and those returns begin earning returns of their own. At first, the progress may seem slow, almost invisible. But over many years, small gains can grow into extraordinary results. The same principle applies beyond investing. Good habits, wise financial decisions, and consistent saving may not change your life overnight. However, when repeated year after year, they create remarkable outcomes. Success is rarely the result of one big decision. More often, it is the accumulation of hundreds of small, smart decisions made consistently over time. The challenge is that human beings are naturally impatient. We live in a world that celebrates instant success, quick profits, and overnight transformations. Social media often highlights luxury lifestyles without showing the years of discipline, sacrifice, and persistence that made them possible. This creates unrealistic expectations and encourages people to chase shortcuts instead of building lasting wealth. Morgan Housel reminds us that wealth is usually quiet. It grows slowly, without attracting attention. Most financially successful people didn't become wealthy because they made one perfect investment. They became wealthy because they remained patient while allowing time to work in their favor. Another important lesson is understanding the difference between being rich and being wealthy. These two ideas are often confused, but they are completely different. Being rich means having a high income or spending a lot of money. Wealth, on the other hand, is what you don't see. It is the money that remains invested, the savings that continue growing, and the financial security that allows you to make choices without constant stress. Many people spend everything they earn trying to appear successful. They buy expensive cars, luxury watches, and larger homes to impress others. But appearances can be misleading. Someone who looks wealthy may actually have very little financial security because most of their income is spent maintaining that lifestyle. True wealth is invisible. It is measured by freedom, not by possessions. It gives you the ability to choose meaningful work, spend time with your family, recover from unexpected challenges, and make decisions based on your values instead of financial pressure. The book also teaches that financial independence should be a greater goal than simply becoming rich. The highest value of money is the freedom it provides. When you have enough savings and investments, you gain control over your time. You can say no to opportunities that don't align with your values and yes to the ones that truly matter. This freedom is something money can buy, and according to Morgan Housel, it is one of the greatest forms of happiness available. Another timeless principle is accepting uncertainty. No one can predict the future with complete accuracy. Markets rise and fall. Economies change. Unexpected events happen. Instead of trying to predict every outcome, successful investors prepare for uncertainty by building emergency savings, diversifying their investments, and maintaining realistic expectations. Preparation is far more valuable than prediction. As these lessons come together, a powerful truth becomes clear. Building wealth isn't about finding secret opportunities or making perfect decisions. It's about staying patient when others panic, remaining disciplined when others become emotional, and trusting the process when results seem slow. In the next part, we'll discover why having enough is often more valuable than always wanting more, how greed silently destroys financial success, and why long-term thinking remains one of the greatest competitive advantages in building lasting wealth. So far, we've discovered that financial success is driven more by behavior than intelligence, and that patience is one of the greatest advantages an investor can have. But there's another lesson that separates those who build lasting wealth from those who constantly chase more: the ability to know when enough is enough. One of the most powerful messages in the psychology of money is that the desire for more can become one of the greatest threats to financial success. Ambition is valuable, but when it turns into endless greed, it becomes dangerous. Many people who have already achieved financial security continue taking bigger and bigger risks because they believe they need just a little more. Ironically, this endless pursuit often causes them to lose everything they spent years building. History is filled with successful investors, business owners, and executives who had more than enough to live comfortably, yet they risked it all for even greater wealth. The lesson is simple. Knowing when to stop is a financial skill. There comes a point where protecting what you've built is wiser than chasing one more victory. Morgan Housel reminds us that the hardest financial skill isn't earning money, it's keeping it. Making money often requires optimism, confidence, and the willingness to take risks. Keeping money requires a completely different mindset. It demands patience, humility, discipline, and the ability to resist unnecessary temptation. Financial markets will always experience uncertainty. There will be recessions, crashes, unexpected events, and periods when fear dominates the headlines. Successful investors understand that these moments are not exceptions. They are part of the journey. Instead of reacting emotionally to every market movement, they stay focused on their long-term plan. This is why having a margin of safety is so important. A margin of safety means preparing for situations that you cannot predict. It means saving more than you think you'll need, avoiding excessive debt, and leaving room for unexpected challenges. Life rarely unfolds exactly as planned, and those who prepare for uncertainty are far more likely to remain financially secure. Another valuable lesson is that reasonable financial decisions are often better than perfect ones. Many people delay investing because they're waiting for the perfect time. Others constantly search for the perfect strategy or the perfect stock. In reality, perfection is impossible. Consistently making good decisions is far more valuable than endlessly waiting for flawless opportunities. The book also teaches us to avoid comparing our financial journey with someone else's. Every person has different goals, responsibilities, and circumstances. Comparing yourself to people whose lifestyle, income, or risk tolerance is completely different only creates unnecessary pressure and poor decision-making. True financial success isn't about winning a competition against strangers. It's about building a life that reflects your own values and priorities. If your financial choices allow you to sleep peacefully at night, support your family, and pursue the life you truly want, then you're already succeeding. One of the most overlooked ideas in the book is that financial planning should always leave room for uncertainty. No one can accurately predict what the world will look like 10, 20, or 30 years from now. Technology changes. Economies evolve. Personal circumstances shift. Instead of creating rigid plans that depend on perfect conditions, build flexible plans that can adapt to change. Flexibility is one of the greatest financial advantages anyone can develop. As these ideas come together, a clear pattern begins to emerge. Wealth is not built by making spectacular decisions once in a while. It is built by avoiding catastrophic mistakes, remaining patient during uncertainty, protecting what you already have, and making thoughtful choices year after year. In the next part, we'll explore why true wealth is measured by freedom rather than income, how happiness and money are connected, and the timeless principles that can help anyone build a healthier relationship with money for the rest of their life. As we've discovered, building wealth isn't about earning the highest income or making perfect investments. It's about developing the right mindset and making decisions that continue to serve you for decades. The final lessons of the psychology of money shift our attention toward one of the greatest financial goals anyone can achieve, freedom. Because in the end, the true value of money isn't measured by what it can buy, but by the life it allows you to live. Morgan Housel explains that the highest dividend money pays is control over your time. When you have financial security, you gain the freedom to make decisions based on purpose rather than pressure. You can choose meaningful work instead of accepting every opportunity out of necessity. You can spend more time with your family, pursue your passions, and face unexpected challenges without constant fear. This freedom is far more valuable than luxury. Expensive possessions may attract attention, but they rarely provide lasting happiness. Time, flexibility, and peace of mind are the rewards that truly improve the quality of life. Another important lesson is that money should reduce stress, not create more of it. Many people spend years increasing their income while also increasing their expenses. As their lifestyle becomes more expensive, so does the pressure to maintain it. Instead of feeling secure, they become trapped by financial obligations. Financial independence works differently. It isn't about earning more every single year. It's about creating a gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap becomes savings. Those savings become investments. And over time, those investments become freedom. The book also reminds us that every financial plan should leave room for mistakes. No one makes perfect decisions throughout life. Unexpected medical expenses, economic downturns, business failures, and personal setbacks are all part of reality. Preparing for uncertainty isn't pessimism, it's wisdom. This is why keeping an emergency fund and maintaining a margin of safety are so important. These financial cushions allow you to survive difficult periods without making desperate decisions. Confidence doesn't come from believing nothing will ever go wrong. It comes from knowing you'll be prepared if something does. Another timeless principle is that reasonable expectations often lead to better financial outcomes than unrealistic optimism. Many people become discouraged because they expect constant success. In reality, every long-term investor experiences losses, uncertainty, and periods of disappointment. Accepting these temporary setbacks makes it much easier to stay committed to your long-term goals. Patience continues to be one of the most valuable financial advantages. Wealth grows quietly, often without dramatic moments or overnight success. The people who build lasting prosperity are usually those who remain disciplined when others become impatient, fearful, or distracted. The book also encourages us to define success on our own terms. Society constantly encourages comparison. Someone will always have a larger house, a newer car, or a higher income. If your happiness depends on keeping up with everyone else, satisfaction will always remain just out of reach. Instead, measure success by the freedom you enjoy, the security you've created, and the peace of mind that comes from knowing your financial future is becoming stronger every year. True wealth isn't about having the most. It is about needing less and appreciating what you already have. As these lessons come together, one message becomes impossible to ignore. Money is not simply a tool for buying things. It is a tool for creating choices, reducing unnecessary stress, protecting the people you love, and living according to your values. The greatest investors aren't those who predict the future perfectly. They're the ones who consistently make wise decisions, stay humble, and allow time to work in their favor. In the final part, we'll bring together every major lesson from the psychology of money, exploring the timeless principles that can help anyone build a healthier relationship with money, make smarter financial decisions, and create lasting wealth that extends far beyond numbers in a bank account. Throughout this journey, we've discovered that wealth is not created by luck alone, nor is it reserved for financial experts. Instead, it is built through patience, discipline, wise decisions, and an understanding of human behavior. As we approach the final chapter of this summary, the remaining lessons reveal one powerful truth. Financial success is less about predicting the future and more about preparing for it. One of Morgan Housel's most important ideas is that uncertainty will always be a part of life. No one can accurately predict the economy, the stock market, interest rates, or the unexpected events that shape our financial future. Yet many people spend enormous amounts of time trying to forecast what will happen next. The book argues that this is the wrong approach. Instead of trying to predict every outcome, focus on building a financial life that can survive uncertainty. Save consistently, invest for the long term, avoid unnecessary debt, and always leave room for life's surprises. Financial resilience is far more valuable than financial prediction. Another lesson is that every investment comes with a price. Most people think the price of investing is simply the money they contribute. In reality, the true price is emotional. There will be periods when markets fall sharply. Headlines will predict disaster. Friends may tell you to sell everything. During these moments, fear becomes far more dangerous than the market itself. Successful investors understand that temporary losses are not failures. They are part of the journey. Volatility is not a sign that something is wrong. It is simply the cost of earning long-term returns. Those who remain calm, while others panic, often benefit the most over time. The book also reminds us that financial success should never depend on proving something to other people. Many expensive purchases are not made because they improve our lives, but because we hope they will improve how others see us. Unfortunately, This creates a cycle that never truly ends. There will always be someone with a larger house, a newer car, or greater wealth. Real confidence comes from financial security, not financial display. The strongest financial position is often invisible. It is the emergency fund that no one sees, the investments quietly growing over decades, and the freedom to make decisions without constant financial pressure. Morgan Housel also emphasizes the importance of humility. Markets have a way of surprising everyone. Even experienced investors make mistakes. Instead of believing you'll always be right, build systems that allow you to recover when you're wrong. Diversify your investments. Avoid excessive confidence. And remember that protecting your future is more important than winning every financial decision. Another timeless lesson is that consistency beats perfection. You don't need to find the perfect investment, earn an extraordinary salary, or make flawless financial decisions. What truly matters is developing habits that you can maintain for decades. Saving regularly, investing patiently, living below your means, and avoiding emotional decisions may seem simple, but these habits often produce extraordinary results over time. Perhaps the greatest message of the psychology of money is that wealth should serve your life, not become your entire life. Money is a powerful tool, but it should never replace health, relationships, integrity, or peace of mind. The purpose of building wealth is to create greater freedom, reduce unnecessary stress, and give yourself the ability to live according to your values. When your financial decisions align with the life you truly want, money becomes a source of confidence rather than anxiety. That is the kind of success that lasts. As we reach the end of this remarkable book, one final lesson remains. In the next and final part, we'll bring together every major idea we've explored and discover why mastering the psychology of money may be one of the most valuable investments you'll ever make. We've reached the end of our journey through the psychology of money. Along the way, we've explored an idea that is both simple and profound. Financial success is not determined by how much you know. It is determined by how you behave. Wealth is built through patience, discipline, emotional control, and the small decisions you make every single day. One of the greatest lessons from this book is that money is deeply personal. Every person's financial decisions are shaped by their experiences, upbringing, fears, opportunities, and goals. This is why there is no single strategy that works for everyone. The best financial plan is the one you can follow consistently, through both good times and bad. We've also learned that time is one of the most valuable assets in building wealth. Compounding rewards those who remain patient, while impulsive decisions often destroy years of progress. True investing is less about predicting tomorrow and more about staying committed for decades. Small, consistent actions, repeated over a long period, almost always outperform dramatic decisions driven by emotion. Another powerful idea is the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Being rich is often visible. Wealth is usually invisible. It is the money you choose not to spend, the investments quietly growing in the background, and the financial security that gives you peace of mind. Real wealth isn't measured by luxury. It is measured by freedom. Freedom is, perhaps, the greatest reward money can provide. The freedom to spend time with your family. The freedom to pursue meaningful work. The freedom to make choices based on your values instead of financial pressure. When money gives you control over your time and your life, it has achieved its highest purpose. The book also reminds us to respect uncertainty. No one can predict the future with complete accuracy. Markets will rise and fall. Economies will change. Unexpected events will always occur. Instead of fearing uncertainty, prepare for it. Save consistently, invest wisely, avoid unnecessary debt, and build a financial cushion that allows you to face life's challenges with confidence rather than panic. Perhaps the most important lesson of all is that enough is a powerful word. In a world that constantly encourages more income, more possessions, more status, learning to recognize what is truly enough can protect both your wealth and your happiness. Contentment is not the enemy of ambition. It is the foundation of lasting peace. Ultimately, The Psychology of Money is not really a book about money. It is a book about human behavior. It teaches us that financial success is less about complicated formulas and more about developing patience, humility, self-control, and long-term thinking. Those qualities not only build wealth, they build a better life. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the psychology of money. If you remember just one lesson from this summary, let it be this. The greatest investment you will ever make is not in a stock, a business, or a market. It is in your own habits, your own mindset, and your ability to make wise decisions consistently over time. Master your behavior, and your finances will often follow.